Acetylcholine and disorder. When a key neurotransmitter goes wrong. Acetylcholine is one of the most important neurotransmitters in the human brain and body. It plays a central role in memory, attention, learning, and muscle movement. Without it, basic functions such as forming memories or moving our muscles smoothly would not be possible. But what happens when acetylcholine systems do not work properly? To understand this, we need to begin with a brief history. Acetylcholine was the first neurotransmitter ever discovered. In the early 20th century, Otto Loy demonstrated that nerves communicate using chemicals rather than just electrical signals. In a famous experiment involving frog hearts, he showed that stimulating one nerve released a substance that slowed the heart rate. That substance was later identified as acetylcholine. This discovery transformed neuroscience. It showed that communication in the nervous system depends on chemical messengers, and it opened the door to understanding how disruptions in these systems can lead to disorder. Acetylcholine operates in both the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. In the brain, it is especially important for attention and memory, with strong connections to areas such as the hippocampus and cortex. In the body, it plays a critical role at the neuromuscular junction, where it allows nerves to activate muscles. Because of its wide range of functions, problems with acetylcholine can lead to very different types of disorders. One of the most well-known disorders associated with acetylcholine is Alzheimer's disease. In Alzheimer's disease, there is a significant loss of cholinergic neurons, particularly in regions involved in memory and learning. This leads to reduced levels of acetylcholine in the brain. As a result, individuals experience progressive memory loss, confusion, and difficulty forming new memories, while later stages involve severe cognitive decline. This connection between acetylcholine and memory has led to treatments that aim to increase acetylcholine levels. Drugs known as acetylcholinesterase inhibitors work by preventing the breakdown of acetylcholine, allowing it to remain active for longer in the brain. While these treatments do not cure Alzheimer's, they can temporarily improve symptoms. A second important disorder is myasthenia gravis. Unlike Alzheimer's, which affects the brain, myasthenia gravis affects the connection between nerves and muscles. In this condition, the immune system attacks receptors at the neuromuscular junction. This reduces the ability of acetylcholine to bind and activate muscle fibers. The result is muscle weakness that worsens with activity. Individuals may experience drooping eyelids, difficulty swallowing, and problems with movement. This disorder shows how crucial acetylcholine is for communication between nerves and muscles. Without effective signaling, muscles cannot contract properly. Treatment often involves medications that increase the availability of acetylcholine or suppress the immune response. A third disorder linked to acetylcholine is Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's disease is usually associated with dopamine loss, but acetylcholine also plays an important role. In a healthy brain, there is a balance between dopamine and acetylcholine in motor control systems. In Parkinson's disease, dopamine levels decrease, which disrupts this balance. As acetylcholine activity becomes relatively stronger, it contributes to symptoms such as tremors and muscle rigidity. Some treatments for Parkinson's aim to restore balance by reducing acetylcholine activity, using anticholinergic drugs. This highlights how disorders can arise not just from too little of a neurotransmitter, but from imbalance between systems. Another condition where acetylcholine is involved is Huntington's disease. In Huntington's disease, there is degeneration of brain regions involved in movement and cognition. This includes disruptions to cholinergic systems. Reduced acetylcholine activity contributes to difficulties with movement, coordination, and cognitive function. This further supports the idea that acetylcholine is involved in both motor and cognitive processes. From a broader perspective, these disorders highlight several key principles. First, acetylcholine is involved in multiple systems, including memory, attention, and movement. This means that dysfunction can produce a wide range of symptoms. Second, both too little and too much activity can cause problems. It is not simply about having acetylcholine, but about maintaining the correct balance. Third, neurotransmitters do not work in isolation. Acetylcholine interacts with other systems, such as dopamine, meaning that disorders often involve complex interactions rather than a single cause. There are also important implications for treatment. Understanding acetylcholine has led to the development of targeted drugs that either increase or decrease its activity. These treatments demonstrate how knowledge of neurotransmitters can be translated into real-world medical interventions. However, it is important to evaluate this area carefully. Neurotransmitter explanations can sometimes be oversimplified. Disorders like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's involve multiple biological processes, including structural changes, genetic factors, and other neurotransmitter systems. This means that acetylcholine is part of the explanation, but not the whole story. Despite this, its role remains crucial. So what is the key takeaway? Acetylcholine is a fundamental neurotransmitter involved in memory, attention, and movement. When its systems are disrupted, the effects can be severe, leading to disorders such as Alzheimer's disease, myasthenia gravis, Parkinson's disease, and Huntington's disease. More broadly, these conditions show how delicate brain chemistry is. Small changes in neurotransmitter systems can lead to major changes in behavior, cognition, and physical function. So the next time you remember something, focus your attention or move your body. Remember this: these actions depend on tiny chemical signals working perfectly behind the scenes. And when those signals go wrong, the effects can reshape a person's entire experience of the world. A powerful reminder of how deeply our minds and bodies depend on the chemistry of the brain.
If you enjoyed our channel, please click subscribe.